Good evening, I'm Rich Baritone. The big story of the week is the Sybil flip, as Sybil once again pledged her undying love to Tyree Sneed for reasons of abnormal psychology. Joining me to break down the Sybil video, Good Morning Changes, anyone talking or judging Tyree on other channels are blocked, is Professor Joey Shitstain from Sneedville Community College. Dr. Shitstain, this is becoming a habit.
Thank you, Rich. I'm looking forward to talking about something other than Sneediological digs. I am not a professor of abnormal psychology, however. As such, I'm puzzled as to why you didn't invite Dr. Pusgums on the show instead of myself. A Sneediatrician would be far more qualified to speak on this subject.
He said the appearance fee was too low.
He's crazy. Who could say no to a pack of cigarettes and a Hunt Brothers pizza? And I get to sit here and chain smoke your weed. It's good work if you can get it.
Doctor, you're going to have to check out my dab rig after the show.
I'm here for it.
So let's go then. Sybil's first brilliant declaration in this video is that Tyree Sneed is in jail, not prison.
No kidding. Nobody is claiming that Sneed is in prison, as anyone should know that prison is a completely different reality than a county jail. This is not to say that county jails are safe, because they aren't. The same things that happen in a prison environment happen in county jails every day. Pocket holding, shower reamings, beatings, gang activity, and so on are not exclusive to the prison system. He's in jail, but his tattoos will guarantee that at some point Sneed will face prison-level violence.
How so?
Come on, Rich.
The new viewers need the background, Doctor.
New viewers? What are you talking about?
Please?
All right. Tyree Sneed has a tramp stamp, a colloquial term for a tattoo on the lower back. It's a biker chick thing, not the sort of tattoo a man ever gets, and the tramp stamp reads, Ballin'. This could give Sneed a bad case of bullseye butthole. In addition, Sneed has what appears to be 2 tattoos of cats on his shoulders. But the one tattoo that could get him into the most trouble is Sneed's Death Before Dishonor tattoo. Inevitably, a fellow inmate will take that as a challenge. Tyree Sneed is literally marked for trouble in an incarceration environment.
Sybil seems to believe that the fact Sneed is being held on a misdemeanor rather than a felony is significant.
It's significant to nothing. What Tyree Sneed is being held for should absolutely be a felony. He beat a woman in front of her children. In Sneed's own words, he left a knot on her head, a statement he made to Jenny directly as a threat some time ago. To me, that is felonious behavior. That this sort of offense is not a felony is a joke.
Sybil then says we are acting like Sneed committed murder or robbed a bank.
Not at all. People are reacting to the fact that 8 years ago, Tyree Sneed was tried and convicted for assault with bodily injury for beating his girlfriend. In Texas, that carries a 1-year mandatory jail sentence. Sneed did not appear for his sentencing and has been evading justice for the last 8 years. That is what people are, in Sybil's words, acting like.
Sybil went on to say that she is going to bail Sneed out, and I quote, once his bail is set.
His bail has already been set. No bond, no bail. While it is hard to predict what may happen in a courtroom setting at any particular time, it seems to me that as a layman, the likelihood of the Cameron County Court reversing Travis County's bond ruling is very slim indeed. If released on bail, Tyree Sneed will flee. Cameron County knows this from 8 years of experience. Cameron County finally has him, and I can't see a release in Sneed's future until he has served his sentence, and it could be longer than any of us expect. At least we hope so.
Texas justice has a fierce reputation, Doctor.
Yes, it does. The 1-year mandatory sentence that Sneed is facing is one thing. That he was a fugitive from justice for 8 years should hopefully complicate his situation. If Texas justice lives up to its reputation, Tyree Sneed will be incarcerated for an extended period of time, by which I mean 18 months in the county jail. 1 year for his conviction, 6 months for evasion. If it lives up to its reputation, I anticipate disappointment.
She claims that Tyree Sneed hasn't been to court yet.
Not in Cameron County, no. I have never been to jail in my life, but it would seem logical to me that he at least appeared before a judge in Travis County, as he was in their jail for almost 2 weeks. At the very least, a magistrate reviewed his case and set his bond at 0. Somebody reviewed this case. Having said that, it's also possible that his bond was set at 0 because he was being held for another county. I'm a forensic Sneediologist, Rich, not a lawyer. I'm completely out my ass here.
Not a problem, Doctor. I'm out my ass, too. Going on, Sybil said she is sending laundered money to Tyree Sneed, not through Jared 333, but in her own words, a different outlet. Why would she want to hide it?
Because she reopened her case against Sneed is the only thing I can think of. The Green Bay police must be getting sick of her by now. She files charges, then her actions immediately afterwards make her complaints frivolous. I'm not saying it's illegal for her to send Tyree Sneed money, because it's not, but perhaps she was told not to contact him upon reopening her case. There has to be a reason she's laundering this money. It could simply be for the dramatics of it all.
She also uses cancer as a deflection a lot.
And her bad childhood as well, neither of which put her above criticism. For Sybil to say that you can't talk about Tyree Sneed because she had cancer twice is not an argument. It's trying to use personal tragedy as a shutdown mechanism. It is definitionally pitiful.
In this video, Sybil went on to say that when she was, in her words, broken up with Tyree, she was getting support. But when her dark personality re-emerged and she went back to Sneed, people started treating her badly again, so she feels as if she has to defend herself.
It's a natural human response to betrayal. She ought to be intimately familiar with betrayal because her entire life is based upon it. Constant betrayal. I believe it's a symptom of her multiple personality disorder. I feel a great deal of her behaviors beyond her control, even with medication. I don't offer that as an excuse. That is nothing more than speculation on my part. However, in this situation, she isn't defending herself. She is the belligerent here, as her actions are not those of a sane person, and her direct betrayal of people who helped her out of a sense of decency, for the third time I must add, is inexcusable, mental illness or not. It's also worth noting that every time haters intervened on her behalf, Sybil was in real-world danger from Tyree Sneed.
This may be the most loaded statement that she made in this entire video. Sybil said that Tyree Sneed is picked on for no reason at all, and haters are on a, quote, payroll, end quote.
On a payroll? I'm doing the show for pizza and cigarettes. What payroll?
Sybil then said she plays stupid to get what she wants.
It's not an act, Rich, and the fact that she admitted to being manipulative is a shock to no one. Again, it's her entire life.
She also said that people are threatening to assault her.
While I don't doubt this is happening, it should stop. 2 points here. Sybil feeds off of this type of communication, and you shouldn't talk about things you have no intention of doing. We have enough posturing here as it is. That goes for Sybil as well. Inviting a fight is not wise for her. She'll lose.
Christina made an appearance, and Sybil was talking really big to her.
Odd, considering that 3 weeks ago Sybil was scared to death that Tyree and Christina were going to hunt her down and kill her, and terrified by the possibility that Tyree Sneed was in Michigan. And Sybil was terrified. Sybil has at least 2 personalities. I call them the witch and the little girl. The little girl personality was in charge of Sybil at that time, and the little girl personality is somewhat timid and very unsure of herself. The witch personality is in charge at this time. It seems to emerge when the little girl starts to make friends, or the little girl's life starts to become too comfortable. The witch is arrogant with no reason, is snide, searches out conflict, and is capable of saying things that cannot be taken back, the sort of fighting words that last a lifetime. The only thing that Sybil's personality seems to share is manipulation, a trait that may not speak to her illness so much as to her soul itself. The soul and the psyche are 2 different things, Rich.
I believe you're having profound revelations, Doctor.
This weed's great.
At this point, Sunflower comes onto Sybil's panel, and Sybil informs Sunflower that her relationship with Tyree Sneed is none of our business.
Stupid beyond belief, Sybil has a habit of divulging details of her life while making these ridiculous none-of-your-business noises at the same time. When a person live streams, they are putting on a show. At that point, your content can be critiqued, satirized, and mocked. If one puts their personal affairs on social media, it is their fault that it is commented upon, not the audience's.
It's only the people that don't like you that judge the situation. Sybil's words.
Anyone who has ever watched any of her content immediately judges her, and people hate the witch personality. Some people want to like the little girl personality, but she's not the dominant personality. As a whole, Sybil is disliked by some and hated by most, and it's all her fault.
Sybil then said that, and I quote, that pig did not put her in jail.
Frost is legend. She did everything but hold the hands of the police to lead them to Sneed. Sybil knows personally of her abilities. Frost ended World War Sneed. It's a fact.
After that, Sybil went on to say that Frost had Tyree Sneed so paranoid that he kept, and I am quoting her again, looking out the window for the red and blue lights, and that Frost was, again a quote, taunting and antagonizing Sneed. It rather looks like maybe Tyree Sneed's paranoid was warranted now.
Tyree Sneed deserves anything that happens to him. We all know that. He is truly evil, and his cowardice is the only thing that protects society at large from him.
Christina then re-enters the chat to claim that Tyree Sneed had called her from jail.
She's trolling, of course. Christina's number was programmed into Tyree Sneed's phone. If he's like most of us nowadays, and he isn't, a number is programmed into a phone and no one bothers to memorize the number nowadays. No, he didn't call Christina. He's locked in on Sybil right now anyway.
Sybil then said to Christina, if he called you, why was his first call to Jared?
What the hell? That statement is not logical at all. The better question would be, why did Tyree Sneed make his first phone call to a man who had been fired from his job for masturbating with a cheeseburger while at work? That your first call from jail would be to a verified pervert is a huge statement on Tyree Sneed's character.
Sybil then signs Christina off with a cheap shot. Go back and worry about your 22-year-old daughter that had a stillborn, Granny, and she's obtuse enough to not understand why she is hated.
These sort of vile statements seem to give Sybil a sense of power over people. Sybil is reprehensible, at least the witch personality is. The witch uses these statements in part to suppress the little girl, who is embarrassed by this behavior and therefore hides, as the little girl is too weak to confront the witch. I may be rambling at this point, but it should be noted that the little girl only emerges when the witch gets Sybil into trouble. Fascinating. I am so high right now.
The only thing holding me up is my chair. So then Sybil goes on to say that she's not a troll. Then Luca comes into her chat and triggers Sybil about her cancer.
Surviving such a thing twice is admirable, but it is not a shield against your actions or a certificate of absolution. It puts one in an awkward situation, as it has gotten to the point with Sybil's trading on her illness. The only response is, so what? So what? It doesn't matter. As far as her saying she isn't a troll, I think Sybil is setting Tyree Sneed up for the coup de grace. We have all seen how Sneed reacts to a breakup when he is a freed man. If Sneed loses control on the phone in jail, it's psych eval time. He should have already had one. Please tell me we're done. I'm ready to hit that dab rig.
One last question, Doctor, though it's not on the subject. Do you believe the authorities know of Tyree Sneed's YouTube content?
I don't know, but we as Sneedvillians need to ensure that Cameron County is acutely aware of Sneed's YouTube content. The only hope we have for long-term confinement is an involuntary commitment to a psychiatric hospital, and ensuring that the authorities know of Sneed's YouTube channels could be a difference maker. You can help by emailing Louise Sines, the Cameron County District Attorney, at district.attorney at co.cameron.texas.us. Be sure to include as many links to Tyree Sneed's channels as you can. Remember, the crime Sneed has committed will put him in jail for 18 months at the most, but a psychiatric commitment would last years. That is what needs to happen, and you can make a difference.
And with that, Dr. Joey Shitstain, thank you.
Thanks for the pizza and cigarettes. Let's get to ripping.
I am Rich Baritone, and until next time, good night.